Have you ever wondered why sometimes it's so difficult to work through certain blocks, behavioral patterns, or triggers, especially with family members? So this is where we're going to get into inner child healing and how to start that process or deepen the process and why it is important. When you experience trauma, especially over and over again, with your parents, teachers, guardians, whomever, caretakers, what that is doing is, one, releasing a lot of cortisol and adrenaline into your body. Now we have a central nervous system reaction: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. We are also encoding a memory into our subconscious that is tied in with safety, security, and survival. You also probably have an emotional state happening. All of those things get tied in with one another. The chemicals that your body's creating, the memory, emotions, central nervous system trigger, the trauma in and of itself. If you have a similar wound where that is happening over and over and over again throughout the years, it is creating a string of these events. That's why when you get around similar people, like family members, you have big reactions because you are lighting up all of those different points in your body. I equate it to kind of going out in a field with all of these different booby traps. Well, once you hit one, it's like pop, 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 pop. You are probably deeper into your spiritual awakening journey and thinking consciously, hey, I have worked through so much of this. I am very self-aware. I am doing a lot of energy healing, mindset work, but this still seems to be tripping me up. That's because you're coming at it with your adult mind. This is where the inner child healing piece comes in. It didn't happen to you. It happened to them back there. The tools and methods that you are utilizing are not appropriate for their age. And I don't mean inappropriate, but you have to imagine we need to go in and speak to them as they are a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old. They're not working from the same logical and analytical plane that you are because you have a developed frontal lobe cortex. We need to talk to them like a child that we would outside of us. Inner child healing sounds very overwhelming when you think about, wow, I've had a lot of trauma points and I have a lot of memories. Let's take a breath. When we are, let's say, trying to heal imposter syndrome, that is such a big trauma wound that often follows us throughout lifetime, creating all of those multitudes of points. What we want to do is think to ourselves, when is the youngest that I can remember experiencing this? Because now we're getting a little bit closer to the root of it. You want to go in and talk to that memory and that child specifically. Let's say that it happened to you at 7 years old with something at school. Even though it sounds counterintuitive of, oh, I'm going to have to do that with every single trauma point. No, once you do it with one, now you are giving your inner children tools and resources that are closer to their consciousness, and all of them within you are listening. They will automatically start to apply what you are teaching and guiding them with, and it starts to dissipate all of that trauma and memories and unprocessed emotions and central nervous system reactions in your field. You have let go of it with your adult human psyche, but your body has not yet. Sometimes you need to go in with these inner children and have a two-way conversation with them and explain to them, hey, we're in a new reality. I'm the higher self. We are safe. I love you unconditionally. Let's talk about what happened so you can have the release that you need. Maybe that looks like crying or doing some type of somatic practices, EFT tapping, coloring. Can be it too, getting the energy out of our field, dancing around. The main point here is we need to unravel that deeper in our system, not just with our mind, but for our actual physical body and then the consciousness of our inner children. I've worked with many a client. We have worked with one inner child on a specific trauma wound, and all of a sudden they feel so alleviated, like so much lighter in their field, but it's not vexing them as much, that trauma wound, because now your body's kind of running on this automatic process of, okay, the next time that comes up, I know how to handle it because I was shown how to talk to my inner child about this. And it just becomes so much of an easier process. If you have further questions about this, I would love to hear it in the comments and what your biggest takeaway was, if this example helped your perception of what is happening in your field. If you would like one-on-one support with inner child healing, you can find those under Akashic record readings in my bio or in the comments, and I'm wishing you a very magical day.